Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. It is a beautiful Friday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening, and I have the Curious Cats Tarot, Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot with me on the tarot table for this first reading. I'm going to do two short readings this afternoon. Short and cheerful, hopefully, readings, two little stories that have amused me rather, and we'll keep the big scandalous stories for later over the weekend. Right now though, I just feel like some light relief today after quite a heavy week. My curious cat is wandering around outside. I can see her stomping around the garden, but I do have the dog here with me for this reading. And this reading, this first of the two short readings, is about the Parkles allegedly being barred from that private members club in LA, the San Vicente Bungalows. And of course you will probably remember that they showed up in a blaze of glory a couple of months ago on a date night there. I think it was late February, early March. Madame hadn't been seen for months, had been out and about promoting his book, doing the rounds of the chat shows and the interviews and everything, and everyone wondering where Madame was. And boom, suddenly there she was. There they were. They arrived at the front entrance and they were papped by Backrid. And there was a lot of comment about that at the time, because allegedly it's a very, very private place. It's not the place that celebs go to be papped or expecting to be papped. There is a very private entrance that they can come and go from. Nobody need know they were ever there. Parkles parked quite far down the road so that they could be seen in all their glory approaching the entrance, give the paps time to get the good shots. And now we hear from Lady Victoria Hervey that, according to her sources in LA, the Parkles have actually been banned from that private members club. And that is quite interesting because it seems to be run by Soho House, first of all, and secondly, it's one of the places where Has-Been allegedly has one of those escape rooms, a whole bungalow reserved for Has-Been so that he can get away from the wife in Montecito and the trials and tribulations of being a parent of young children. That is how the story was spun anyway when it broke a few months ago. So we have got the Grimalkin's Curious Cats Tarot on the tarot table. We're going to do a little 5-card reading on this just for fun and entertainment and see what's going on. See how the people at San Vicente Bungalows felt about this stunt. It did seem to be a stunt set up with the paparazzi. How did they view that? Have the Parkles really been banned from the place where everybody goes to do what they like to do in private? Meetings in private, whatever else. Dalliances in private, who knows what goes on. Oops, okay. These big unwieldy cards, which are quite difficult to shuffle. If, like me, you're a klutz and you can only shuffle in one way. And what else do we want to know? We want to know about Has-Been and the private suite, private bungalow. Has that also been canned? Ooh, okay. And how do they feel about this story being broken on GB News? Lady Victoria Hervey was talking to Dan Whitten, and of course some of you probably know that there's a whole story around Dan Whitten at the moment, which I'm not going to go into now. I might have a look at it, but the energy doesn't feel right yet to look at. Parkles are hoping that to take him down and with him Prince William. But so far he's still there on GB News and now breaking stories like this, embarrassing stories if there is any substance to them, that they are no longer welcome at a very, very popular private members club in LA, all because of their stunts with paparazzi. So we're going to look at that, and let's just remind you, as I get the underlying card out, that we are dealing with tarot here for fun and entertainment, or just speculation or my opinion. Just read energy here, of course, archetypal energy, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. We've got the King of Cups here. That is somebody who is quite influential, and for some reason I'm thinking it could be Marcus Anderson. I don't know whether he hangs out there. But there is a King of Cups energy, and neither of them, the Parkles, don't normally show up as this. in this kind of energy. I'm not sure what sign Dan Whitten is, whether it's his energy that's showing up here, but it's somebody. It has the energy of media types, maybe going to have power meetings, but with cups, it would be private. It might involve drinking and other things, connecting at quite an intimate, personal level with the King of Cups, not showing off, not being in a business mode, which would be the King of Coins, or showing off, which would be the King of Wands. So this is more private, more intimate, more personal, as I say, more connecting with people, more intimate energy with the King of Cups. So let's see what's going on. It's quite an odd energy to come out as the underlying energy, I have to say. But what's the story? What are we dealing with right now? What are we dealing with? We're dealing with the Emperor. We're dealing with somebody who has made a decision. Somebody who's very important who has made a decision. It's a similar energy. Something very, very much a plan has been executed with the Emperor. Somebody showing a power play, really demonstrating their own power in this. It's a move. The Emperor lines things up and organizes things and plans and manages things. Here comes my curious cat after her big wander around the garden. So it's power. It's powerful people. We've got, and the Emperor is the most powerful energy in terms of leadership, Hollywood, entertainment, world, all of that kind of stuff. So we've got very, very powerful people showing up in this reading, and not Harry and Meghan. It's not their energy, neither the underlying energy nor the heart of this reading, but it's very powerful people who clearly don't want to be papped. That was what Lady Victoria Hervey said very clearly. They do not like paparazzi around them. So tell me how the people at San Vicente Bungalows felt about the stunt that the Parkles, let's say allegedly, pulled a few months ago, showing up, being papped. The Magician, it's very much a manifesting energy, but a manipulative energy. The Magician is tricks, turning tricks, pulling a rabbit out of a hat, not playing straight down the line, not playing fair, not necessarily being in sync with everyone else with the Magician. It's putting on a show. That's what the Magician does, and they saw it for what it was. They saw straight through it with that Magician energy, didn't like it. The Magician is always a tricky card. It is literally the trickster, even when it's upright. And seeing it for what it was a show, it was a display, it was a stunt for attention. This cat, this Emperor, keeps drawing me to him. He's got a very fierce look on his face, a very powerful, very stern look on his face. And I keep having to go and look at him, disapproving. Whoever it is, I would love to know who it is, whether it's just the collective energy of all those very powerful people who frequent that particular private members club. So on to the really important card in this reading. Have the Parkles been banned from the San Vicente Bungalows? Told, you are not welcome here anymore, stay away. The Star, yes they have. I'm sorry about this glary ring light. Didn't realize how glary it was. The Star, but the Star in reverse. The Star is celebrity in its downfall element, losing hope, losing status. It is depression, despair, things not going your way, losing the glitz and the glamour and all the things that they really would like to have in their world and don't seemingly have much of anymore. So that's a very big card. We're getting big cards here. We've got the Emperor, we've got the Magician, and then we've got the Star in reverse. So these powerful people have clearly closed the door on the Parkles and said, stay away. We don't want you here. And for them, I think it was quite devastating. How about Has-Been and his own personal bungalow that was allegedly reserved for him for his little getaways where he could go and play computer games and kick back and relax and enjoy himself and indulge whatever he wanted to indulge. How about that? What's going on with that? Has that gone as well? Yes, it has. It's a no-go anymore. Ace of Cups in reverse. Something very upsetting for him. I should imagine that this was quite a devastating blow, losing this. An emotional outlet. Ace of Cups. There might even have been some dalliances there with that Ace of Cups. Meetings with paramours. Just speculating, of course, as I always do here on this channel. But Ace of Cups is very much an emotional card. Declarations of love, new relationships starting, but it's all been cut off. It's all been stopped with that Ace of Cups in reverse. And it would have made him very unhappy. Where else can he go? There is one place left in Montecito, I believe, where he hangs out. But I think that this was a favourite spot, far, far away from Madame, with all the people, with all the famous people she promised him he would rub shoulders with. And now it's gone. It's been taken away from him and he's very upset. Can't believe it. We've got very upset, can't believe it, with the star in reverse as well. How do they feel about the story being broken by Dan Wootton? Well, by Lady Victoria Hervey on GB News as she's being interviewed by Dan Wootton, who is public enemy number 1 at the moment, allegedly. Let's throw one of those in. How do they feel about this coming from that particular source right now? We've got the Hierophant in reverse. I almost suspect that they think it's been planted by the royal family, because the Hierophant is the royal family. It's the hierarchy, it's the establishment, the institution, as they like to call it, but it's in reverse, so it's in its shadow energy. It's not playing by the rules. Upright, this card is very much about rules and regulations and doing the right thing and being honourable. But in reverse, it is quite rebellious, it is quite a rule breaker, and I think that they feel that this really has come from higher up. Somebody has given the go-ahead to Lady Victoria Hervey to go and say this in a forum where it will be most difficult for them to deal with. They will find it most offensive, most insulting. It's quite a funny card, and it again is major arcana. We have got in this reading all major arcana in the actual reading, except for this Ace of Cups, which is a very big card itself, and then the underlying energy of this King of Cups. Definitely there are people here who I don't know, I can't identify who they are, but they are people who like to have these private and intimate meetings away from the public gaze, away from the paparazzi. Somebody here very powerful, very influential, who is showing up. And because it's the Emperor and because we've got the royal family here, it could even be the king himself or people adjacent to the king who have decided to release this news. All kinds of stories being released recently about the Parkles, embarrassing stories, humiliating stories, just being drip fed. And one wonders why, and I might have to explore why these stories are coming out now in this slow kind of release. It's very interesting. And yeah, they saw right through the stunt, saw it for what it was, as being manipulative, as being a stunt, and the Parkles definitely banned. As far as the energy of these cards tells me, as far as I can interpret the cards, with the star in reverse, a real door slam for them in terms of their access to celebrity, the inner, the holy of holies as far as celebrity goes. Harry very upset about losing his private bungalow. Very emotional connection there somehow, and as I say, possibly potential there for some dalliances away from herself, and suspecting that this news has been broken with the green lighting of the royal family. Their suspicion. I'm not saying it has actually been, but it might be what they suspect. So that is your reading. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.